Welcome to the channel, everybody. Leveling Diecast. Yes, that's some stuff we cracked open before because everything we're about to crack open right now does not fit in the case, so no point in taking that out of the case and starting over. Original Super Rigs, the crazy Super Rigs, not just the long haulers that Hot Wheels did, but the original, crazy Super Rigs with the functioning things and the crazy castings and all that kind of stuff. This one we're going to start off with, I have a few of these ones. So 2006. This one is from 2006, a very interesting packaging as well. Nothing particularly fancy on the back right here. So that yellow one right there, I don't have. I do have the military style one, the black one right there, and this blue one right here up in the corner. That were like the crappy versions of their trucks. This is when Super Rigs really came into being, and they made the much, much larger trucks and all that better stuff like that. I don't have either one of those. Or that guy, but I do have this one, and of course this one right here. This is nothing particularly named. It doesn't have a name, so all the Super Rigs nowadays are specifically named. This was $5.49 at Kmart. Yes, when Kmart used to exist. So this is a blister in a box display thing. Ooh. So the blister just sits in this little box display, as you can see here. So you just gotta have to rip the blister out, and then it sits in a two-piece deal. This is cracked out. I don't think it's connected to the plastic, but there we go. There we go. Just sits in there very, very well. It comes with the hammer sled. I think this was exclusive to this pack. This one in blue with some flames on it, and then just Zamek for all the bits and stuff to it. It is all metal. This motorcycle is all metal, which is pretty nice. Handlebars and everything. So I do collect this casting. I don't get too crazy with it, but definitely not my favorite motorcycle from Hot Wheels. So this is the truck, of course, just like nowadays. Cab is removable. It's kind of a modified take on a relatively regular, traditional semi, I guess is the way to put it. It says Hot Wheels embossed right there in the plastic. Hot Wheels print on the top. Some ridiculous chrome for the dual stacks. Does use proprietary wheels, just like most of Super Rigs still does. Not all of Super Rigs. 2002 Mattel is when this was a new casting, so this was a few years after this was new, so several versions. It's giant too. All the red bit where you see right here is metal. Everything else is plastic. Pretty standard fare right there. There is your trailer right there. Nothing particularly fancy with the trailer, although it does have a bunch of moving features. It says Hot Wheels on the side. Hot Wheels Chop. Maybe Choppers, I think is what it says behind there, behind the wheel. And then, of course, there is the picture of the hammer sled itself. This does have a couple of things. So this comes out, comes down, and then there's a little piece right here. You snap it into the top. There we go. Snap it in the top, and then you just lift the whole container off the back of it. And of course, the container can go down. And theoretically, you would put it down on the ground, but it doesn't quite reach like that. So you kind of have to do this. We'll put the trailer on there. It gets kind of to the ground, just like that. The back of it opens up as it opens up traditionally when you don't break the doors off like I did. No big deal. So it opens up traditionally just like that. And then, of course, you can put, your slammer sled in there, which if it's in there, perfectly fine. Close up the doors. The back of the container does have a Hot Wheels logo embossed. It is just blank on the back of the trailer. And then you put this down there. And there's little notches in the bottom of this container to keep it from sliding off and stuff like that. So it's all right. It's all right. Nice to see one of the OG ones. Now this one's really, really nice. I've actually been looking for this one for like a really long time because it's got the bone shaker, and the bone shaker makes it difficult to get. This one is 2007. So truck and transporters. You see the packaging changed a little bit. Nothing super crazy, but it does have, of course, the bone shaker in it. Does have a couple of models right here. These are all updated castings. I don't have, except for that one. It's still an ugly casting. I don't have any of those still. This is an era of Super Rigs I did not collect. I was not collecting at that time. Hot Wheels stuff for the most part. So let's get this. As a matter of fact, I'll give you guys a little tidbit. I got back into collecting in 2006. So everything that you see on my collection is just from 2006 moving forward. So not like a lifelong collection per se. Oh, come on. Man, it's getting brutal in here trying to get these apart. All right. I'm sorry if that was super loud on the camera. My apologies. So this one is actually crunched to fit in the packaging. We'll take a look. There is, of course, your bone shaker right there. Looks pretty good. It is a matte finish to it. It is the version with the open top. It looks cool. Red 5 spokes on there. Nothing particularly fancy. A little bit of details on the side. Does have a metal base, so that is nice. Metal body and metal base on this particular bone shaker. So this is, of course, the truck, and you do have to do that. It does intentionally, as you can see, it is designed to do that. The reason it's designed to do that is because of the back section here, which you pop it open, and then it becomes a giant ramp, and it does have a piece in here that connects to standard Hot Wheels track so that you can put a launcher on it and then you can shoot it off of this ramp. But the reason that it slides forward is, for one, to fit in the package, and for two, that way to make it a little bit more stable when you have a car shooting against it, instead of trying to, you know, have the truck turn. Keeps it significantly more stable. So that one's pretty good. It doesn't actually hold the bone shaker as you'd expect because, of course, you know, the model moves. But we'll get this popped out. Just uses a plastic kingpin in there. The entire trailer is plastic. These are some crazy proprietary wheels, like super custom giant steelies. I think they look pretty good. I don't like the fact that there's only one axle on the trailer, but it's okay. Stickers on the side. But this is the money truck right here. This is one of the coolest trucks they've ever made. It's just super, super cool. It's like a bone shaker semi, if they were even to call it one of those. It just looks ridiculous. It's got this crazy drop frame on it. The wheels look ridiculous. I just love it. Looks like a V8 down in there with just some triple stacks, some ridiculous exhaust out the top. Open cab. It's super cool. I mean, this one just oozes cool. All plastic base on there. Just this little piece of the cab is the only thing that's metal. There's some deets, so you see some drivetrain details down in there, the huge fuel tanks on the side. It says bone shaker. And of course, it's slammed all the way to the ground. It just looks super cool. This one's definitely one of my favorite ones. And it's been a really long time since they've released this one. And they probably won't, because I don't think they use those wheels anymore. But I still think that one is a super, super cool addition. Even though it's just stickers and stuff on here. But it's all right. All right, that was 2006, 2007, 2008. Yes, 2008, they did some racing rigs. So these were a little bit of a step back, at least in my opinion. So this is called Speed Machines. Yes, Speed Machines. And then, of course, there is the truck right there. It doesn't show anything fancy on it. Battle Force 5. Not for use with some sets. That is a Firebird funny car on the back. Still utilizes these not that great of packaging. But this one is a little bit more cooperative. Get the top opened up and slide it out. There we go. Significantly better. We'll throw that out here. Get our racing rig out of there. Like I said, it comes with the Pontiac Firebird drag racer. It does open up. Super stiff. So opens up. Nothing particularly fancy with it. It's a pretty terrible casting. They didn't do a very good job with this particular casting. The wheels stick out. It just doesn't look good. So it says Redline wheels. So very interesting. Decal on the side looks pretty good. I do like that Hot Wheels logo. Red window in there. Nothing particularly fancy. This is, of course, the truck. So I do believe this one. There we go. Super stiff getting that off. I've never had this cab. This is the first time I've seen this cab. But I like it. I like it. It looks pretty good. Huge blower out the top. It's got a kind of a cool looking front end to it. Of course, Hot Wheels logos on there. Some ridiculously huge size exhaust. Those would be probably like 2 feet wide in real life, especially compared to the size of the door. In there in chrome. Just looks ridiculous. The proprietary wheel that it has kind of looks like some actual semi wheels with like ultra low profile tires on it. it's actually kind of cool. It actually looks kind of cool. I kind of like that. The trailer itself is pretty straightforward. It says Hot Wheels Motorsports on one side. It is all plastic. Even this little piece in here is plastic, which is unfortunate. It does have a little bit of a ramp-ish, as you can see right here. Let's see here. Does that snap closed? Ooh, no, it just sits there. Doesn't snap closed. But this does move up, and it rotates too. So you can like do some crazy stuff with this. You can turn it to the side. It's on a ball hitch and a pivot. So there's a ball hitch in there, and then of course the pivot back and forth. You can turn it all the way around if you wanted to face forward, if you wanted to, for whatever reason. Just kind of an interesting thing. But it does go to the ground. So if you do want to load up the model, it does actually go to the ground, and you can load the model up. The model does sit in the little notches, which is nice. They don't always fit. They don't always choose the models that fit. And then it just sits there like that. Nothing particularly fancy. I don't think there's really any details underneath it. Just some basic plastic. 2 little notches right there. 2 little notches here. Keep it from moving around. Just slide that right in there. And then it stays in there, sort of. Not perfect, but enough. So, and then just snap it right back on there. And like I said, it does fit in there. So it's all right. It's all right. It's not great. It's just all right. All right, moving on to 2010. It's the last old school one I have. This one is called Rat Race. This one's actually named. It's actually called Rat Race. This is another version of the Bone Shaker, another one that I've been looking for a long time. Bone Shaker one's very difficult to get. That UFO one, don't have it. Street Show, don't have it. Rumble Road, don't have it. Combat Hauler, don't have it. Flatbed Hauler Farm, don't have it. And then the Drag Car Hauler, I actually do have that one. So at least I have one of these from back in the day. You don't always see these for sale. As a matter of fact, it's you don't hardly ever see these at like shows and stuff because people just don't bring this kind of stuff. At least around me. This stuff is easily available on eBay and stuff, but local pulls a little bit different. They did change the packaging, so it's actual traditional blister, which was pretty nice. Get that thrown off the hip. Get this out, get this out. This is the next Bone Shaker, just in black with some flames on there. Some chrome engine area details, 5 spokes. Still has the metal base, which is nice. So there's 2 versions of the Bone Shaker. There's one with a closed roof, and of course this one with the open roof. And then of course this is the truck right here. It says of course Bone Shaker Racing Team. Still has that adjustableness to it. Get this popped out and then pop it open. This one uses basically the exact same colors for the inside and same color for the track connector piece. So throw that on there. The stickers are okay. They don't quite line up perfectly, but the sticker placement's pretty good, except for just this corner right there. You know, production. They probably have somebody sitting there putting these stickers on there by hand back in the day, which not ideal, but it's just the way it works. And then, of course, there is the truck. It's got a satin finish to the black, which looks super good. This one looks way, way, way better than the gray one. It just fits the bill better with black, with flames, red engine, silver wheels, chrome. It just looks good. This looks really good. I think this is one of my favorite like freestyle semi-truck castings they've ever done. And it's just a shame that they won't use it anymore. They don't have like these really giant wide wheels to use anymore, so I understand why they don't use it, and this trailer is relatively large. So I get it, but I would like to see a return of this trailer and truck combination, because I think that's super cool. So we'll put that Bone Shaker in front of the Bone Shaker. Now I have one of the old school long haulers. Yes, these things were absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. These are these super ugly ones that were just way too freestyled. They kind of tried to be a little bit like modern with the trucks, but just not a very, very good execution. 1998 Mattel. 99% of all of these had exclusive models in them, which includes this one. Yes, an MR2 I've been looking for a very long time. Red MR2. It has a blue or purple interior and then a blue window. Very, very interesting. China base on this one as well. A definitely tough to get MR2. So get this. Man, these blisters are holding together pretty well for being, 20 plus years old. There we go. So we'll take a look at the truck first. It does have a modern kind of take, but it is just way too tapered. You can see how ridiculous that is. But it does cover the wide range of the trailer. The trailer does have trailer stands right there, which are removable. So they're not necessarily, I don't think they're necessarily designed that way. That's just the way that it kind of was put together. So if you don't want the trailer stand, you just pop that off. It does have a ramp in the back. Oh, man. Ooh, there we go. That ramp was way, way, way in there. So it does have a ramp in the back, of course, to get the model in there. Nothing particularly fancy on the top. It does have removable trailers you'd expect. Wheels are not that great. 3-spoke wheels look really, really weird. And they're very, very different sized. I mean, just ridiculously different sized between the two of them. And the truck is like super stubby. Again, this was just not a very good attempt. But I will tell you what, this truck is like super heavy though, because it's almost all entirely metal. No interior as well into these trucks, which is perfectly fine. No love lost with that. So there's the truck. But of course, I only bought it for this model right here. It does have the purple interior, blue tinted window, the MR2 Hot Wheels logo right there on the wing in the back. Lace wheels, and then of course there is your China base. So this is exclusive to this set. So if you want to pick this up, you will need to find this set. It's got a little bit of a dull, like anti-gloss finish to it, which is kind of cool. So, I said nothing will fit in the display in the back, but I guess technically that would fit in the back because I'm not utilizing the truck, which is fine. All right, the last thing I have is the actual haulers. The actual haulers. You guys will probably recognize these. The actual hauler trucks. Haulers 3-pack. These are exclusive to this 3-pack. It's a little bit of a later run, not the initial run, but still utilizes the original set of castings, which were really, really good. And they switched to like these fantasy castings, which were terrible. Some of these versions came out. I don't think that tow truck particular version ever came out. And I don't think that sanitizer truck in that version came out either. I think the print was a little bit different on this one too. But there were a couple of different 3-packs. Of course, these ones are exclusive. So it does have a little Mattel quality sealed sticker on there, which I think is hilarious, to be honest with you. So we'll cut the top. And this was available at good old KB Toy Store. The coolest toy store the world's ever known. Even cooler than Toys R Us. If you ever went to a KB Toy Store, KB Toy Store was the pinnacle of toy stores. And they were in the mall. I mean, they were not even like a Toys R Us. And they were the pinnacle of them all. This comes with a ridiculous 2-year limited warranty. Such a ridiculous thing. Like, it's just absurd that it comes with a warranty. This does have some tape on there. So we'll get that off of there. Here we go. Throwing stuff everywhere. There is the cab over. Cab over truck. Looks pretty good. This was used as a tanker a few times. It was mostly used as a box truck. But it's just one solid piece. All the yellow you see is die cast. Did have a plastic base on there. It says 1996 Mattel. Looks pretty good. High performance fuel on the side, which is a sticker. I like it. It's not super fancy. They weren't trying to make these things super fancy. I think it was cool though. So we'll put that guy right there. This one is super cool though. This is the Big Rig tow truck, which looks good. It looks realistic. The deco's not that great on here, but it's not terrible. Does have a light bar on the top as well. It's got some scuffs on there from sliding around in the package for the last 20 plus years. This has a little bit of functionality to it. You do open the or push the top up, and then this comes down. Of course, you can put the truck tires right in there to tow it around. Nothing keeps it from hitting the ground. So when you do tow them around, it just drags on the ground. But it was a cool play feature, and of course, it just moves up and down. There's no actual hydraulics. If you look in there, the hydraulics just move into the casting, so it doesn't actually work per se. But it looks okay. The chrome finish to the back section is a little bit weird, but it's a pretty cool tow truck. I like this tow truck. It looks good. Definitely one of the better ones from that kind of weird casting era. So we'll put that there. I know this stuff doesn't really fit on the channel. It's not really made for trucks. And then the last one we have right here, of course, is the recycle truck, metal recycling. And somebody asked me to do a review on a garbage truck, and here you go. Here's a review on a garbage truck, sir. This one says metal recycling on the side, just a little bit of silver print with your Hot Wheels logo in blue. It does not do anything, not functionality. This particular kind of chassis, they also put a box on. They also put a box on it that had a little sliding door, which is about the most functionality you got out of pretty much the hauler line, unless you got that boom truck, and the boom actually worked. The boom actually was pretty nice. So we'll put this guy kind of in the back so we can kind of see him. So there you go. That is today's haul. Just some haulers for today's little showcase, so to speak. But nice to happen to get some older super rigs. I got an enormous amount of super rigs. Obviously, being a super completist, trying to get the older ones, and just collecting some other weird stuff like that. But that MR2 is probably the best one of the bunch, just because, man, I've been hunting that one for a little bit. So anyways, drop a comment. Let me know what you think about those. Let me know if you like haulers, super rigs, old school super rigs, all that kind of stuff, or just truck guy in general. Always appreciate the comments. And if you like some stuff, always don't forget to subscribe. That's how we roll. We're going to catch you next time on Level In.